Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. They say that memory is activated by smell, primarily. If you smell a certain smell, it'll take you back. The other thing that causes you to lock a memory in is deep emotion. If you're extremely angry or afraid, you have a clear lock on that memory. I have a clear lock on that from 35 years ago. I remember exactly where I was in which Kroger. I could take you there right now, and I could show you the aisle.
Wow.
Like 5 aisles across, I was the second one in. Because that was the moment when I reached the point that I said, this isn't working. I'm standing there paying for food, and as I'm writing the check, because in those days you wrote a check, as I'm writing a check, I didn't know if there was money in the account, and I didn't know if there was money in the account, if I was actually using money that should be used to pay the light bill. In other words, am I trading this bag of groceries for my electricity getting cut off?
Oof.
And that, it wasn't a panic attack. Today you might call it that. I don't know. I just became overwhelmed with this feeling of how stupid I was, and how this level of terror, this constant knot in my stomach about if I'm can't even cover basics of life because I'm buying another basic of life, food, and that's the last time I had that feeling.
What happened after that?
I did a budget.
That was it. It took away all the
because if you have a budget laid out and it says you spend, I'll make up a number today, $800 on groceries, $700 on groceries, right? $1,000 on groceries, whatever it is. I don't know. You just put it in there. You're going to spend that. You also have the number in there for electricity. And so you know what you've got to spend on the grocery, and there's not all this chaos and stress and fear associated with every single money transaction, because it's simply a boring plan. Every dollar has an assignment before the month begins, and it gets rid of that I don't know, grocery store terror attack, whatever you call that. I don't know what you call that.
Just bill anxiety.
I'm sure there's a technical,
the Gen Z's come up with a
trend, but it's probably got something to do with the price of eggs. But I distinctly remember being afraid,
which is unlike you, I might add.
I'm not afraid very often. I'm not a fearful person in general. But everybody gets afraid sometimes. But I remember going, I'm out of control. And I've got little children and a wife, and I suck at this. And
you had a finance degree at that point.
I got a finance degree. And I was I had made and lost $1 million by then. And it didn't matter. I can't even buy a bag of freaking groceries without being overcome with fear, because I don't know what else I'm screwing up while I'm buying food for my family. That's so basic, right? That's so dumb. And so I went home, got a yellow pad out, put this is what we've got coming in this month. This is what we're going to spend. Every dollar had an assignment. We're a Christian, so we're going to tithe at our church. That's the first thing. We're going to do our generosity. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. And we're buying food. We're going to buy lights. And we're not doing all this other crap. And we're not going out to eat until we've covered these basic walls. And we started living that way. And we've not had a single month of our lives that we don't have a plan for every dollar of because it just gives me such peace. And that chaos is gone. That's why we named our app Every Dollar that we built.
Come a long way since the yellow pad.
Yeah, and there's like tens of millions of people using it. And I guess and I hope most of you are having the same result, where you don't have this overwhelming fear that no plan and chaos gives you. Plan and no chaos, no disorganization, only organized planning. And all of a sudden, peace comes. It sounds so nerdy. But it really happens that way, folks. And you feel like you got a raise.
Oh, absolutely. Because you realize, I thought we were spending.
Where has this money been going?
We're not spending $200. We spent $500. We got to do something about this.
Where is this money going?
So it helps you choose reality to go, here's how much we actually made, here's how much we need to spend in order to hit our goals.
And I remember sitting in a small group. I stopped by and was over in Knoxville, Tennessee. I was actually a suburb of Knoxville, up towards the mountains. And I stopped in this church that was doing a financial peace. They said, hey, if you're around, come by. So I stopped in. They were doing a financial peace class. And I went and sat. I was sitting in a small group. There's about 15, 20 people sitting around. And I'm just sitting there listening to them. And they're some pretty funny stuff. I mean, but this one old guy sitting there in overalls, and he's like, yeah, I done figured out why we got no retirement. We've been eating it. We go out to eat every freaking night. It's $1,200 last month. He goes, that budget's revealing. You know,
that's amazing.
It was a genius. You know, he's like, I know why we got no retirement. We've been eating it. You know, that's a typical American right there.
Nothing's changed.
Plus or minus the overalls and the accent, but come on.
I prefer the accent, though. That makes it better.
Well, it's a true story. I mean, it's exactly how it happened.
Were they weirded out that you were sitting in the class?
Yeah, it was like Elvis showed up to your jam session or something. But yeah, but but anyway, the guy was he's like, this thing's revealing.
It is kind of a light bulb moment.
When you sit down and you do a budget on your EveryDollar app, and you and your spouse are in agreement, for the first time ever, maybe you've had a sane discussion about money that didn't involve drama, hyperbole, and a knockdown, drag-out freaking argument, right? So we actually are in agreement and alignment on our money instead of like, well, whatever you want to do, honey, with your eye roll, right? And that kind of crap.
That sounded personal. I feel like you've
that definitely has happened. I can promise you.
You've been on the business end of that line.
I've been on the other side of that one.
Yeah, it's like a financial
whatever you want to do, honey, means I think you're stupid and you're about to wreck the car. Stop driving it that way. That's what that means. Those of you that don't know, if you don't speak passive aggressive, that's what it means. So, but the budget gets rid of every bit of this, because it's like you don't get to say I messed up the money because we did it together. If it's messed up, baby, you was in it too.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I mean, that's the thing. So we decided this crap together. And that's why this EveryDollar app is so freaking successful. So you guys go download this thing as fast as you can. You get it at the App Store for free, and then Google Play and all that. And you can go to everydollar.com if you want and do it on your desktop. I don't care. And if you want the upgrade version, it's a couple of bucks. It's not much. And you can connect to your bank, and it's got all the paycheck planning features and the baby step features in it and all that stuff. But tens of millions of people are doing this now. It is the world's best budgeting app, and it was born because this redneck hillbilly standing in line at Kroger 35 years ago going, you're an idiot, talking to myself. I'm not living like this anymore. I don't want to be this scared anymore. I don't want to be this incompetent anymore. I don't want this taste on the back of my tongue that tastes like regret. I don't want that anymore. And that's how this app was born. It's not like, well, we decided we're going to do a budgeting app. No, it's just like, bull crap, this stuff stops now.
We need to do this.
This stops now. And if you're there, we got the tool, baby. This will do it for you.
It is a financial epiphany. If you want to start reading from the same sheet music instead of having just musical chaos in the house, wondering what the flip's going on, this is it. It's that shared thing we both look at for accountability and go, we both agreed to this, and if we stick to it, we're going to have this thing called money.
Yeah, and I promise you, if you're married, your spouse is not like you. If two people just alike get married, one of you's unnecessary. Y'all are different.
One person hates your spreadsheet, I guarantee it.
One of you is a nerd, one of you's a free spirit. One of you's a saver, one of you's a spender. One of you is screwing with the thermostat all the time. And the other one is like, don't you understand how thermostats work?
Don't touch it.
Leave your hands off the thermostat. If you turn it way down, it cools off faster. No, it doesn't. That's not how it works. This is how marriage works, boys and girls. If opposites attract, you need to get on the same plan together. Create your free EveryDollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.